Have you ever felt a gap? A chasm, really, between the person you are and the person you know you could be. It's a quiet, persistent ache. It's a feeling you get on a Sunday evening when the weekend has vanished into a blur of chores and distractions, and another week looms, promising more of the same. You feel busy, constantly moving, yet at the end of the day, there's a nagging sense that you haven't actually progressed. You're treading water, and the shore of your true potential seems to be receding. Why is this feeling so universal? In an age of unprecedented information and opportunity, why do so many of us feel stuck, overwhelmed, and fundamentally reactive to the demands of the world, rather than proactive in the design of our own lives? We tell ourselves we lack time, we lack energy, we lack discipline. But deep down, we suspect the truth is more profound. We suspect we surrender control of the most valuable asset we possess, the opening moments of our day. It's in this universal struggle that leadership expert Robin Sharma found his life's obsession. He saw this pattern of quiet desperation not just in ordinary people, but in the highest performing CEOs, artists, and athletes he advised. He saw that success and fulfillment weren't about grand, sweeping gestures, but about the small, unseen victories won in the silent hours of the dawn. He became a man on a mission to codify an answer, to build a system so powerful it could transform anyone willing to embrace it. This isn't just a story about waking up early. This is a journey into a philosophy for a life lived at its peak, a blueprint for reclaiming your power, and a discovery that the first hour of your day determines the quality of everything that follows. To truly understand the power of this philosophy, you first have to understand the desperation from which it is born. You have to meet the people standing at the edge of their own personal cliffs. Imagine an entrepreneur. She's brilliant, driven, the founder of a tech company that was once the darling of its industry. But now, she's on the verge of losing it all. A hostile takeover is brewing, engineered by the very investors who once championed her. She works relentlessly, fueled by caffeine and fear, sleeping with her phone clutched in her hand. Her days are a frantic blur of putting out fires. Her creativity is gone, replaced by a constant, low-grade panic. Her health is failing. Her relationships are strained, and the passion that once ignited her has been extinguished by the crushing weight of responsibility. She feels like a victim in the story of her own life, betrayed and utterly alone. Now, picture an artist. He possesses a rare and brilliant talent, a gift for creating art that can move people to tears. But his studio is silent. His canvases are blank. He's paralyzed by procrastination, by the fear that his best work is behind him. He escapes into the shallow comforts of social media and meaningless distractions, each scroll and click a small betrayal of his own genius. He looks in the mirror and sees a ghost of the vibrant creator he once was, his inspiration buried under layers of self-doubt and apathy. He craves greatness but has settled for mediocrity, and the cognitive dissonance is slowly tearing him apart. These two souls, the entrepreneur and the artist, are adrift in the same ocean of despair, each trapped in their own private storm. They represent the two common poles of modern suffering: the burnout from doing too much of the wrong thing, and the rust out from doing too little of the right thing. Their breaking point arrives at a personal development seminar, a last-ditch effort to find a spark of hope. They listen to a legendary business guru known only as a spellbinder. His words resonate with a painful clarity. It is there, in a state of shared vulnerability and desperation, that their lives collide with an impossibly eccentric and fabulously wealthy stranger. This man, who appears to be a homeless vagrant but speaks with the wisdom of a sage, will soon reveal himself to be the billionaire tycoon Mr. Stone Riley. He sees their pain, recognizes their latent potential, and makes them an outrageous offer: abandon their lives for a while, join him in his private paradise in Mauritius, and he will teach them the secret to a world-class life. For the entrepreneur and the artist, two people who have absolutely nothing left to lose, this is the moment their real journey begins. It is the moment they step out of the before and take their first tentative step toward the after. Their arrival in Mauritius is a shock to the system. They are whisked away to a secluded, breathtaking beach, a world away from the gray anxieties of their former lives. It is here, with the sun rising over the Indian Ocean, that Mr. Riley reveals the first foundational principle of his philosophy. He tells them that the state in which you start your day determines the state in which you live your day. Most people begin their mornings in a rush of digital distraction and mental clutter. They grab their phones, check emails, scroll through feeds, and immediately inject their mind with the stress, negativity, and agendas of others. They start the day on defense, reacting to the world demands. But the titans of industry, the great geniuses, the most fulfilled people on the planet, all have one thing in common. They protect the sanctity of their mornings. They start their day on offense. They carve out a period of pristine solitude before the rest of the world awakes. A victory hour from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. This, he explains, is the time to build themselves. But Mr. Riley's lesson goes far deeper than the simple advice to wake up early. He provides a meticulously engineered formula to optimize his victory hour, a protocol he calls the 20/20/20 formula. The first 20 minutes, from 5 to 5:20 a.m., are for intense physical activity. You move. You sweat. This is a leisurely stroll. It's about pushing yourself with skipping, burpees, or spinning. Anything that gets your heart rate up. He explains the powerful neuroscience. Play. This intense exercise triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein that literally repairs brain cells and accelerates the formation of new neural pathways. It's like fertilizer for your brain. Simultaneously, it flushes your system of cortisol, the hormone of fear and stress, and elevates dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters of motivation and happiness. You are, in effect, washing your brain of fear and flooding it with inspiration, all before the sun has fully risen. The next 20 minutes, from 5:20 to 5:40 a.m., are dedicated to reflection. You sit in quiet solitude. You meditate. You journal. You write down your dreams, your fears, your gratitude. In a world that constantly pulls you outward, this is a time to go inward. This practice cultivates self-awareness, deepens gratitude, and allows you to process emotions, solidify your happiness and peace. It's about detaching from the chaotic noise of the world and reconnecting with your own inner wisdom and your most important values. You plan your day not from a place of frantic obligation, but from a place of clarity and intention. The final 20-minute block, from 5:40 to 6 a.m., is for growth. You read. You listen to an audiobook or a podcast. You study the lives of great men and women. You develop your craft. Instead of consuming junk information, you are deliberately increasing your knowledge and wisdom. This commitment to daily learning compounds over time, giving you an unparalleled edge in your field and in your life. The 20/20/20 formula is not a random collection of good habits. It is a scientifically designed sequence to prime your mind, body, and spirit for peak performance. It connects back directly to the problem of feeling overwhelmed and reactive. By conquering the first hour, the entrepreneur and the artist are learning to conquer their day. They are shifting from being passive victims of circumstance to becoming the deliberate architects of their lives. For the entrepreneur and the artist, the 20/20/20 formula is a revelation. They begin to practice it, and the initial results are staggering. The entrepreneur feels a clarity she hasn't experienced in years. The artist feels a flicker of his old creative fire returning. They feel powerful, energized, and in control. But a new problem quickly emerges, a complication that threatens to derail their progress entirely. The first few days are fueled by novelty and motivation, but soon, the siren call of the snooze button becomes deafening. The old habits, the ingrained patterns of procrastination and anxiety, begin to reassert themselves. The initial burst of enthusiasm wanes, and they are faced with the immense difficulty of sustaining this new routine. The first principle, the victory hour, is the what, but it isn't the whole story. It alone can't solve the deeper issue of lasting change. Mr. Riley, anticipating the struggle, reveals that they have only learned the surface-level tactic. To make the 5 a.m. club a permanent part of their identity, they must understand the deeper philosophy that underpins it. He flies them to Rome, a city built on foundations of enduring strength, to teach them about the architecture of their inner worlds. It is here that he introduces the second core principle, the mastery of what he calls the 4 interior empires. He explains that to achieve legendary outer success, you must first cultivate pristine inner success. We are not one-dimensional beings. We are a complex system of four interconnected domains that must all be nurtured. The first is mindset, your psychological dimension. This is about your beliefs, your focus, your mental models. The grow portion of the 20/20/20 formula directly strengthens this empire. But this is where most people stop. They believe that if they just think positive thoughts or learn more, their lives will change. But Mr. Riley reveals that this is a fatal flaw. You must also cultivate your heart set, your emotional dimension. This is the empire of your feelings, an unexamined emotional life, filled with unprocessed anger, sadness, or fear, will sabotage even the most brilliant mindset. The reflect portion of the formula, the journaling and meditation, is the daily practice that cleanses and strengthens your heart set, allowing you to build emotional resilience and cultivate joy. The third empire is your health set, your physical dimension. Mr. Riley emphasizes that history's greatest achievers were fanatics about their physical vitality. Energy is a more valuable currency than intelligence. Without a foundation of vibrant health, your cognitive abilities and emotional stability will crumble under pressure. The move portion of the 20/20/20 formula is the non-negotiable daily investment in your health set. And finally, there's the fourth and most often neglected empire, your soul set, your spiritual dimension. This has nothing to do with religion, but everything to do with connecting to your deepest self, your purpose, your sense of wonder. It's about remembering what truly matters in the grand scheme of your life. The quiet solitude of the early morning, the act of watching the sunrise, the moment of reflection. These are practices that nourish your soul set. The complication becomes clear. Simply forcing yourself to wake up early using willpower will always fail, because willpower is a finite resource. The deeper truth is that the 20/20/20 formula isn't just a productivity hack. It is a holistic training regimen for all four of your interior empires. When you nurture all four in balance, your desire to wake up and perform the ritual stops being a chore and starts becoming a deep-seated need, a source of profound joy and strength. The journey with Mr. Riley continues, taking them from the ancient wisdom of Rome to the vibrant energy of Sao Paulo, and finally to the spiritual heart of India, near the Taj Mahal. With each new location, the entrepreneur and the artist deepen their understanding. They have the what, the 20/20/20 formula. They have the why, the need to cultivate their four interior empires. But the final piece of the puzzle, the grand synthesis that ties everything together into a practical, repeatable system, is still missing. They understand the destination, but they don't yet have the complete map for the journey. The aha moment arrives as they stand before the majestic Taj Mahal, a monument to enduring love and meticulous execution. It is here that Mr. Riley reveals a unifying theory that makes lifelong transformation not just possible, but inevitable. He calls it the science of habit installation. He explains that installing a new cornerstone habit like the 5 a.m. routine is not a simple, linear process. It's a specific, predictable journey that unfolds over approximately 66 days. This is a crucial link between the daily tactic of the 20/20/20 formula and the lifelong strategy of mastering the four interior empires. The process is broken down into three distinct 22-day phases. Phase 1, the first 22 days, is called destruction. This is the hardest part. As you begin waking at 5 a.m., you're actively destroying old neural pathways and deeply ingrained habits. Your brain and body will fight you. It will feel uncomfortable, messy, and you will be tempted to quit almost every day. This is the phase where you must lean on your discipline and your commitment. Phase 2, the next 22 days, is called installation. This is the messy middle. The old you is not quite gone, and the new you is not yet fully formed. You will feel confused, frustrated, and demotivated at times. This is a period of neurogenesis, where the new neural pathways are literally being constructed. It requires immense persistence to push through the chaos. Finally, Phase 3, the last 22 days, is called integration. This is where the magic happens. The habit has been forged. The new neural pathway is now the default. Waking up at 5 a.m. no longer requires immense willpower. It feels normal, even automatic. It has become a part of your identity. This is the point of automaticity, where the new behavior is easier to do than not to do. This 66-day framework is a grand unifying idea. The 20/20/20 formula is the workout. The 4 interior empires are the muscles you are building. And the 66-day process is the training schedule you must follow to achieve results. It's the realization that transformation is an event. It's a process. It's not about finding a magic bullet, but about committing to a system. This grand synthesis fundamentally reframes the original problem. The struggle to change isn't a sign of personal weakness. It's a failure to understand the stages of habit formation. Armed with this knowledge, the entrepreneur and the artist finally see the complete picture. They understand that every moment of struggle in those first 66 days isn't a sign they are failing, but a sign that the process is working. Our journey with the entrepreneur, the artist, guided by the wisdom of Mr. Riley, is more than just a story. It's a map. It's a blueprint that shows us how to move from a life of frantic reactivity to one of profound intention and mastery. We saw them at their lowest point, drowning in overwhelm and mediocrity, a feeling we all know too well. We followed them as they discovered the tactical power of the 20/20/20 formula, a way to weaponize the first hour of the day for personal growth. We journeyed deeper with them to understand that this tactic was merely a tool to cultivate something far more important. The 4 interior empires of mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. And finally, we arrived with them at the grand, unifying insight that installing this life-changing habit isn't an act of brute force, but a structured 66-day process of destruction, installation, and integration. This is a path from who you are to who you are meant to be. The blueprint is clear. Start tomorrow. Set your alarm for 5 a.m. For the first 20 minutes, move your body. For the next 20, reflect in silence. And for the final 20, learn and grow. Do not expect it to be easy. Embrace the struggle of those first 22 days, knowing you are breaking down the old you. Persist through confusion of the next 22 days, knowing you are installing the new you. And push through to the final 22 days until a habit becomes so ingrained it is simply who you are. Understanding this philosophy is the first step. But the transformation only begins with action. It begins when your alarm goes off in the quiet darkness of tomorrow morning. That moment will be a choice between the comfort of your past and the potential of your future. If this journey has resonated with you, if you feel that pull to reclaim your mornings and redesign your life, then make a commitment to yourself right now. Join a community of people dedicated to the same path by subscribing to this channel. Let it be your public declaration, your first step in owning your morning and elevating your life. Because every sunrise offers a fresh page, a new opportunity to write a better story.